It's now become a self-fulfilling, reoccurring prophecy. The young man you see before your screen is a young man by the name of Lil RT. Now, I'm not familiar with his real name. I'm not really familiar with this kid, but I've seen him all over my X/Twitter timeline. And, all I can do is really pray. Now, I'm not, it's really no point in preaching the same old, we gotta do better, we gotta stop this. This is, at this point, they don't have to actively influence the youth, especially the black youth, the black young men. All they have to do is put it on autopilot. I said in my first podcast, or my second podcast episode, that these record labels, they're creating their next artist as we speak, and they do it in their sleep. They don't have to actively go out and recruit. All they have to do is keep pushing out an image, and they will constantly have a new generation of disposable rappers to make money off of. They don't have to even put in an effort at this point. This young man is 9 years old. 9. I've put some of his lyrics in the pictures you'll see before you. You can read them. I'm not saying that stuff. You can read them for yourself. He's 9. Now, I remember when I was 9 years old. I remember being a kid. We were all influenced. We all looked up to somebody. We looked up to something. That's what kids do. But kids are also supposed to be protected. The innocence of a child is something that can't just be put back in the bottle. And especially with young black men, myself included, we are looked at as inherently dangerous in a way. We're looked at as something to be wary of. Even as we get into our teenage, especially when we get into our teenage and adolescent years, it's like we're aged. If you're 10, you're 13. You're 13, you're 17. If you're 17, you're 25. It's already hard to be seen as just a regular kid. No matter where you come from the suburbs, you can come from the trenches, and you will be seen as a threat. And this young man right here has already been failed by the people around him. He's 9, he's rapping about things that he can't even do yet, things that he doesn't even understand fully. And I don't blame him at all. He's 9. I blame the people around him. I blame the record label that's making money off him. All these people you see in the music video, they're letting that happen. They're letting that slide. And people might joke and be like, this is nothing new, okay? This is nothing new at all. There's been young rappers to pop up and young, influenced kids that, are copying what they see, but he's copying exactly what he sees around him. And a kid like him doesn't even have to come from the hood or any place like that to turn out like this. This stuff is everywhere. The culture has become so corrosive to the youth that it can influence any kid. And this goes beyond black children. Y'all remember Lil Tay? If you're not familiar with Lil Tay, she was she basically was imitating flex culture, flexing your watch, your diamonds, all that stuff. But she was being recorded by, I believe, her brother. Her family basically used her for money. Same thing. They don't protect the children, especially in this internet and digital age when it's easy to make a buck off of anybody. But the corrosiveness of this current, of our culture, of hip-hop. Hip-hop is becoming, it's becoming a detriment, especially street rap. And I'm not trying to sound like no preachy old head or anybody like that. I love hip-hop. But there's certain aspects that are just becoming really just hard to deal with. Like stuff like this. This is just, he was on Kai Cenat's stream not too long ago talking about, well, since it's YouTube, I can't say the word, but the word grape without the G. He said that, and he said that in one of his freestyles. He blew up off of a freestyle. The kid has some talents. He can flow, but it's not about what he can do. It's about what he's talking about, what his talent is being used for. This is just, how did we end up like this? How did we end up like this, in this predicament, in this situation? The people making money off of this, record executives, they're gonna go home. They're gonna make sure their kids go to Ivy League schools and making sure their kids, go to business school so they can inherit the business or go be a doctor or something. They're making sure their kids gonna be straight. But they will sign a kid that's rapping about killing people and all this other sort of stuff that he doesn't even do or know how. He doesn't know how to do half the stuff he's talking about. He's 9. He's 9 years old. How have the youth become so corrupted like this? And I know this is nothing new. I know that kids like to copy what they see. We did it as kids. The kids before us did it. The kids before them and the kids before them. But there's something just different about this new age that we're in. And of course, there's nothing new under the sun, but you can't help but you can't just skirt this stuff by. This is getting out of hand. This is getting ridiculous. These kids are getting set up for failure before they even get a chance to understand the world. And it's not even, he's just a kid that they're making money off of, a rapper. There's kids right now who are starving, struggling, and growing up in these horrendous environments and are being set up for failure. They're being set up to be another statistic. They're being set up to be exploited. They're being set up to have money made off of them. They're being set up for failure time and time again. Set up in a way that's going to benefit a system that doesn't like them. Whether it be prison, whether it be a record company, whether it be some fashion line, whether it be the gun manufacturers, they're being set up to be just exploited. Your image, anything. And that is the worst reality that we face right now. So seeing this, I had to speak on this. I really had to speak on this. Let me know what you all think about this. I pray for Lil RT, and I hope that he has a future. I don't want to see him be killed or having to be a statistic, or I just want to see him flourish in life. I have a picture of him smiling and not just flexing money and all that stuff. And he's just a kid. He's just a kid. He is just a young boy. He deserves to have a nice childhood, to have, loving people around him. But instead, he's being thrusted into a lifestyle. He's being surrounded by God knows who. being set up for failure. And that's the worst part about it. So I thank you all for listening to this other installment, this third installment of Fireside Chat. You all have a wonderful, beautiful day, night, whenever you listen to this, and stay blessed.